But ThroneKid City,
Yo,
what's good with you, man?
what's good, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for welcoming me into your home so we can make this interview happen, man.
You already know, bro.
Been a long time coming, man.
For real, we've been waiting to do this interview for too long, bro.
I know.
Been talking about this for a minute.
Hey, so it's your first time on the platform, so we're gonna start from the beginning.
Yeah,
all right. So you're from Philadelphia?
Yes, I was actually born in Arizona, and then around like 8 years old, I moved out to Philly, and that's where I graduated high school and stuff. So that's where I spent most of my life.
Okay. How was it growing up in Philly? Like your childhood or whatnot?
Different from Arizona, for sure. I definitely had to learn how to become tough out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, my cousins was always messing with me, but I mean, it made me the person I am today, so. But nah, yeah, it was definitely different. You had to get accustomed to how they roll out there.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that lead to you coming out here to Orlando?
Actually, my mom, she was really big in real estate out there. So one of the buildings that she had sold, this guy had turned it into like a studio, recording studio and stuff.
Yeah.
And he allowed me to come in there and like run sessions and make beats and just kind of hang out. And one of the guys that was there, I showed him some of my music. He was like, yo, I don't know how old you is right now, but when you get older and you go to college, go to Full Sail University.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how, but I remembered that name years later. I was only like 11. Like, I wasn't even in high school yet to be worried about college. But
right.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, when you graduate high school, you got to go to Full Sail University, man. Like, that's the place for you. And that's what happened. I graduated high school. I was like, fuck it, we gonna go out there. And so I came a part of Full Sail University.
Okay. That's what's up. We're gonna touch on that later.
Nah,
Cause I know you're still currently attending there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna touch on that in a little bit. When did music start, becoming a part of your life? Was it always a part of your life growing up, or
Yeah, because even when I was little, because I also play piano and guitar.
Okay.
So when I was 5, my grandparents got me like a little keyboard to play around on and a little like yellow guitar for Christmas. So I was always like making beats. That's actually how I started off. My grandfather, he was making beats also, and he taught me how to make a lot of beats on FL Studio. So that's how I kind of got into it, and I just was a producer. But then my mom kept putting me on the spot and was like, you can freestyle too. Yeah. So then I started freestyling, and then from that point forward, it kind of was like, all right, music might be the way for me. And I honestly didn't start taking it serious until I was like 10 years old, when I actually started going into studios and seeing like everybody work in the music. I was like, I can do this for the rest of my life.
Okay, so you started taking it serious since you were 10.
Yeah.
So, man, that's crazy. So what aspect of music were you taking serious at that juncture? You were just making music as far as like lyric wise, or were you just all around just doing beat? Because you make beats, right? You produce, you write, you engineer, you mix too, also.
Yeah.
So which one of those talents? So which one of those talents you took first?
What started?
Yeah.
Honestly, producing, because in my mind we were gonna. That was gonna be my way into the industry, start off producing, getting people on my beats, and then be like, hey, I'm a rapper too, type of thing. Now it's not that at all, but yeah, that's honestly how like I started to get serious with it, with producing, trying to get rappers onto my beats, and just like freestyling. Like, I remember like my first time in the booth recording for the first time, like that's when I knew like, all right, it's either gonna be making beats or it's gonna be me rapping. But I knew that rapping was what I wanted to actually do and actually, get noticed for.
And then, like you said, so once you graduated high school, you decided to attend Full Sail. What made you get that push? Just because of the fact that that guy told you to go there?
Exactly that. Yeah. Okay. And I looked into the school and I was like, yo, like this school is actually pretty dope. Like, I really don't know how I remembered the school for that long, but I looked it up. And I looked at all the different like degrees they had, and I was like, oh, it's not even a long time that you got to go to this school. Like, I can meet a lot of great connects. The only downfall that I had about it was that there wasn't going to be no sports teams and things like that. But I was like, I don't care. I'm still trying to go to that school. So yeah, after I graduated, I was like, all right, I think I'm actually take it serious and go to Full Sail.
Okay. And then obviously you like the decision that you made, right?
Yeah.
What like, is Full Sail really as good people say it is? Like, you know, like what's some good experiences you had with Full Sail?
It's
Or what do they offer as? Wait, what did you go to school for initially though?
recording arts.
Recording arts.
Yeah, so basically like audio engineering.
Okay. How was that whole process like?
A lot of money in that career.
A lot of money.
Yeah, like honestly, like I thought it was just gonna be, you know, learning how to engineer and be inside of studios, but there's so much more to like audio engineering. I could literally edit a whole movie and put all of the audio inside of it. Like nothing we see on TV and here is real. Okay, it's all edited, it's all added in. Like, so there's actually a lot more, and then like even adding sounds for like game design, things like that. So honestly, it's been like a great experience, and you're gonna get out of it what you put into it. So they're always saying like, hey, we can literally give you everything that you need to succeed in life, but it's about if you're gonna take it serious and actually buckle in and, you know, make those connections, get out there, network, things like that, because that's honestly the biggest thing about it. Is networking. Like, yeah, you're learning the information and stuff, but some of the stuff you could probably like, you know, figure out as you go and stuff like that. But it's honestly about the connections that you make there, because, you know, you never know who you sitting next to in the classroom, especially at a school like that.
Let's talk about your influences. Since you've been doing this since you were 10.
Yeah.
Like, who are you influenced by? Like growing up, who you were listening to?
I mean, my mom always had the throwbacks on, but honestly, my inspirations for like making music, I'd probably say like my top 5, probably like Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Drake.
Okay.
Jay-Z. I'm gonna just keep it at my top 3 for real.
Top 3?
Because those are like my main hitters like coming up.
Okay.
You'd be shocked by my other 2. My other one for my top 5 is probably like Tory Lanez. Don't hate me for that, okay?
I see it. I see it.
You see it?
I see it.
Yeah, I'll be calling him Tony. We're not gonna talk about. I just got myself canceled. Listen, I love everybody. I am not part of that situation, but you cannot, you know, deny the talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, those are like my top right now, because like Lil Wayne, I love the way that he writes, like his metaphors and stuff. Like I don't think people pay attention of how many metaphors he actually throws into his verses, and it's just like, yo, I got that inspiration from him. Now I be writing metaphors in mine, like trying to figure out like, all right, how can I get people to think? How can I get people to like be like, oh, he meant this, he said this, but he meant that the whole time, like, you know what I'm saying? And then like Drake being as diverse as he is and being able to touch any record and make it gold. Just the inspiration of that artist of the decade, you know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want to aspire to be something like that?
Right.
And Jay-Z, just he made, you know, what I'm trying to do and what most artists are trying to do possible, you know, like the fact that he even just lyrical and being able to get his flow across and make you actually think, and he can not drop music for years and literally drop a song and everybody's listening to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have that type of pull from my people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, those are probably my top right now.
So your creative process when you like making music, I know you write, but like, is there a certain method that you go about writing, or do you go straight off the head, or like what's your different forms of like creating music?
First I decide on what type of vibe and what type of mood I'm in. I never try to like force a song to come out, you know, even though I should like practice that, because there's gonna be times where they're like, yo, I need this song, and you know what I'm saying, you got 24 hours to make it. But I honestly try to go based off of my vibe, and then that will like determine what type of beat I might choose. And when I'm writing, sometimes like it's kind of like I'm going off the head, but at the same time I'm not. So it's like I'm kind of coming up with like the flow and the melody of it, where I'm probably saying gibberish and not making no sense, and might not even be saying words. I'm just coming up with like how I want to like, you know, come on the beat. And then I'll actually put lyrics to it later. And like sometimes I'll go back and rewrite if I don't feel like, you know, it was hard enough, and then, you know, I'll go with that. Or sometimes I freestyle, but most of the time I'm writing my lyrics down. Between
performing and creating, which one do you like better? You like performing your tracks, or you like creating the whole process?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Cause I see you enjoy all aspects of everything.
Yeah.
Your performances be fire, by the way.
Yeah,
So it's
appreciate you.
So like, what do you like more if you had to choose?
I don't know, because the magic of making the songs, like I really do enjoy that, because sometimes I'll shock myself and be like, yo, like I just came up with that, I just did that. But then when I'm performing, being able to interact with the crowd, like honestly, I'm probably gonna say performing, just because of interacting with the crowd. I love seeing the reactions of people, like, you know, to my music and stuff like that. And like the more that I'm getting my name out there, and the more that people are actually knowing my songs when they come to my shows, like what, like we've had this thing called 5-Star Mondays, and there's like a couple times where the DJ will like cut off the beat and like the crowd is singing my shit, and I'm like, I love being able to be a part of that. It just makes me feel like everything that I'm working so hard for is actually, you know, being noticed and actually appreciated. So I'm probably gonna say performing.
Okay. Now let's get into some tracks here. So you got the On to Better Things series.
Yeah.
So you got the first one that dropped back in 2020.
Yeah.
And then you dropped another one, part 2, in 2021.
Yes, sir.
Can you say what's like the major, because like anyone that listens to the track, for me, I think they can get a lot of different messages from it. But like, what's the main message that you want people to know from the first On to Better Things to part 2?
Honestly, like just being able to take yourself from a bad situation and putting yourself into a better situation, like it's always possible. You can always, like, I know people are like, oh, I hate restarting, oh, I hate having to go through this because then I'm gonna have to do that. Like, no matter what, it's okay to restart, it's okay to keep trying. Like, as long as you're trying, you're always going to be on to better things. Like, if you give up, then you're just going to be stuck, you're going to be stagnant, you're not going to really progress in anything. But as long as you keep going, you keep trying, like, there's no way that you won't be able to make it to the finish line and still, you know, be like, dang, I went through all that, but I'm still on to better things. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's kind of like the message I want to get across for that.
Today I was listening to part 2 On to Better Things, and I think my favorite track, I thought it was I'm Better Off. But now I think it's Statements.
Statements do go hard. Yeah.
I like Statements a lot.
Yeah.
What was the process behind that track? Like, what was the mind state?
Kind of the same thing for I'm Better Off, because at the time when I was making the tape, I was actually trying to get a lot more features on it than what is actually on the tape. I don't think there's actually, well, there might be like 1 or 2 features on that tape.
You ain't got no features.
Really? One of them has yeah, you might be right. But yeah, I was definitely trying to get a lot more features on it. And for some reason, I was just kind of getting like a lot of backlash for it. Like a lot of people would be like, oh, okay, I'm down, and then flake, or, you know, it was like me chasing people down. And I felt as though people weren't really recognizing the talent that I had, and people were just kind of like, oh, this little nigga right here, like we ain't worried about that. So I felt like I made those 2 songs, especially Statements, on some like, all right, y'all gonna hear what I got to say.
Well, you definitely made a statement.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, y'all gonna see what's up. I don't need y'all to make these songs fire, because I was actually gonna be putting on some really fire artists, but whatever reason they had, you know what I'm saying, they wasn't trying to be a part of it. So that was my purpose, kind of talking shit a little bit, but still being like, I can do it without y'all, it's cool.
Okay. Are we gonna expect a part 3 maybe? On to Better Things part 3 maybe?
Probably not, because if you see
maybe no time soon, but maybe in the future, maybe it's probably not going to be called On to Better Things though, because like the way that I've had it set up so far is like the first 2 tapes that I put was just the beginning. And then, you know, it was just the beginning. Now we're on to better things. Now, after On to Better Things, I want to be elevated somewhere else. And I don't know what that might be, but, you know, I want it to be next level, On to Better Things, you know, deluxe type of thing or something like that. But, yeah, I definitely want it to be something better, something bigger and better. Floating in the Wind.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on it because how did you and J-Bay link up for that?
That was actually done in Arizona. That's when I was actually living out there, because after I graduated, I moved back there for like a year. And he was just somebody that I worked with, like a coworker. And I knew that he was a fire singer. And that experience recording that song was like probably like the best thing ever, because that day I did Floating in the Wind, and I did Close Your Eyes, the other feature with Deja.
Right.
And it was like I was orchestrating the whole thing, like the whole session. That's when I kind of knew like I would like writing music for other people. But yeah, so he came to the studio for me. I guided him on how I wanted it to sound, and I feel like he really delivered that emotional package that I needed for that song.
Right.
And I had actually wrote that song like a little bit after my aunt had passed away. So it's definitely one of those like deep emotional, like I always say, like that's like my saddest song. Like it's my best song,
right,
but it's like also like my saddest one. So
I think that is your best song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to keep it 100. Like
Yeah.
I do like that song a lot.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I got to get him on another track or something. Yeah, nah, he's a fire singer too.
Your other two tracks that I do like, I'm Closer and On the Better Things. Were both of those shot by Cheeseburger or just the On the Better Things?
Both of them.
Both of them?
Both of them were shot by Cheeseburger. And the On the Better Things, we actually shot that out in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that whole experience?
It was lit. I was out there, and then
Actually, how did you and Cheeseburger link though?
Full Cell.
Full.
So yeah.
Okay.
It was actually like last year at our Hall of Fame that we had, and I had met him there, and we just did like this spontaneous interview together and stuff, and we both were like, yo, we fuck with each other, yo, like we should link up some more. So that's actually what happened. He ended up shooting like 4 of my videos, but On to Better Things was one of them, and I'm Closer was one of them. And I think I was out there visiting family or something like that, and he was out there on some business, and I was like, yo, you're out here at the same time as me? He was like, yo. So we linked up and recorded that video. Like, Cheeseburger's fire as fuck. Like, that's my bro right there.
Shout out to Cheeseburger. He's cool, man.
Shot by Cheeseburger.
Let's address the elephant in the room real quick.
Ah, man.
Get this over with. You went through a transition. So as a trans artist, what are some difficulties? Do you feel like it's like, are people hesitant to work with you because of that? Or do you get any vibes or any type of situations that a normal artist wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? Like, how's your experience so far?
I feel as though, me personally, I haven't really ran into too many problems as far as working with people, because usually before we even start working, they're already kind of just getting a vibe for the type of person that I am. And so they automatically are like, oh, you're cool as shit. And then they figure out like, oh shit, like you're also trans. I respect that, you know? So a lot of the times I get, you know, mad love and respect from it. But there has been times where, you know, like I'll run into somebody who is a bit hesitant, or you know, they might just like look at me differently, you know. And it's just like I'll either address it and be like, hey, like that's like one line that I don't allow anybody to ever cross, disrespecting me with my transition and stuff like that. So I always give that disclaimer, like, listen, I'm cool, I let a lot of things slide, but that is the one line you can never cross. And if they cross it, there is no coming back. There is no business to be continued. I didn't even care what the business was. I would completely just, you know, cut that. But you know, most people respect me for it and actually fuck with me more because of it. But I know I'm gonna run into my problems too.
How long were you always aware that you wanted to go through that process? Like how young were you?
I didn't figure out what the transgender community was until I believe my sophomore or junior year in high school. So no, I did not always know that I was trans. I always felt like something was like a little weird, a little off, and I always joke around and say that like I went through the whole spectrum of the whole LGBT. But yeah, I didn't really know until I was about like 15, 16. And then that's when I started to do more research on it, and I was like, okay, I think this is the road and the path that I wanted to go down. So once I truly figured it out and truly knew like, okay, this was it, I was like, all right, yeah, I got to get into this.
Okay. And was your family supportive of it?
Yeah, for the most part.
Or your immediate family, at least?
Yeah. Once everybody found out, because for a while I kept it a secret. I kept it a secret for some years. So, like honestly, only like maybe a few friends knew about it. But yeah, I didn't really tell anybody because I was too scared to. I was scared that, you know, I didn't know how they would look at me or if they would treat me differently. But once my whole family did like find out, like I've gotten nothing but love and respect from it. You know, there was a couple that it was like I had a kind of a conversation with them, and once we had that conversation, then, you know, it was more understanding for them. But yeah, they still showed me love.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Any advice you would give anybody else in a particular, like in the same situation as you, if they're trying to figure things out or whatnot?
No matter what, keep going. I know that what I'm struggling with is like, because I have no shame in myself. I have no shame in who I am, what I've done, everything like that, because it makes me who I am today. But I know that when you gotta move through life, you gotta move through life like you're playing chess. So I would always say, stay true to who you are, no matter what, even if it seems like it's a hard decision. You know, stay true to who you are and what you believe in, and just keep going no matter the surrounding people around you or the surrounding situations. You know, do what you feel as though is best for you. Don't do what you feel as though is best for them. To make them more comfortable, make sure that you're comfortable first.
You and BMS, Beauty Management Solutions.
Yeah.
So,
gang.
So shout out to Beauty.
Yeah.
So you're a part, is it a label? What's exactly BMS? Let's get that.
It's exactly the name, Beauty's Management Solutions. So she provides services and manages different artists. She manages different models. I know that she has some other things that are coming up for herself, but it's basically her managing us, getting us booked shows, getting us involved into different events that are going on. That's mainly what she's been like doing for me and stuff like that, helping me figure out, you know, my releases coming up. So, you know, playing that role as my manager, making sure I stay on straight.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So it's you and there's 5 others, right?
Yeah.
Well, who's the other? Who else is on the roster?
It's me, King Foreplay, Drea Lee, One Mercy, and Chopper Boy.
Okay. So how's the experience so far? You know,
I love it.
How long has it been? Has it been a year yet?
Almost, not yet. We're getting close. I think I started around a little bit around like October. That's when I kind of like was introduced to Beauty. Yeah. It was actually when I was working at JICA. I had a session, and One Mercy was my session, but Beauty was with them. And so me and her were kind of like having conversations, and she was like, I like you, I gotta get you on the roster. Yeah. And for a while I was like, all right, cool. But I wasn't really like making that move to actually initiate it. Yeah. And so she always says that she had to like chase me down and stuff. But then when I finally like started to get involved with her, I think like my first big show with them was their BMS photo shoot event that they had at JICA. And then like their gala that they had in December. So yeah, it's starting to get close to that year mark that I've been part of BMS family.
Let me get your take on the music scene here in Orlando.
Yeah.
What's your take on it? You think it's a great place for artists to come to and, you know, start their careers, you know, work on their careers? Like what's your experience here in Orlando so far?
It's definitely different from Philly. I feel as though, you know, I was getting love in Philly, but not as much. Once I started performing more out here, I feel as though like it's been like nonstop, like love, like yo, you're fire, yo, like I gotta work with you and everything like that. There has been some shady moments. I ain't gonna lie, there's been some shady moments, but I honestly would say that this is a good place if you wanted to get your recognition up and get your practice in and really like start to get a feel for the industry. I feel like this would be a good place to start. Would I say this should be your end all be all? Probably not, because I feel as though there's other places you can go that could probably like give you that push, like New York, LA, somewhere like busy, you know. but I do feel as though like the sound out here is definitely different and it's fire. Like it's something that I had to get used to at first. When I first came out here, I was like, what type of music is this? This that Florida music, jit. I'm like, what is a jit? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? So it's definitely something you gotta like custom to. But yeah, I feel as though like you could definitely get your recognition and actually, you know, make a name for yourself out here.
So what's in store for the future for you? What can we expect from ThroneKid City?
Content, music, videos, all that. Like if I showed you my folder of songs, like you'd probably be like, bro, why do you have this many songs?
Yeah.
And like they're not out yet. And it's because I'm terrible. I always find a reason for why that song is not ready to be put out. But it's definitely about to be a shit ton of music. Like in one folder I have like 100 songs. So just one folder.
So no time soon, no drop, nothing.
No, yeah. That's why like I've been doing a lot of performances lately.
I know, and I've seen you and G Wiz always got some fire together.
Yeah. Shout out.
I saw you for the showcase, the Boston Richie showcase that Fufu. Shout out to Fufu.
Yeah.
Organized. You did a song that was dope there too.
Yeah. Shout out Arrow, low key.
Yeah. So what can we expect? Nothing.
So you can expect a joint tape. I'll tell you this: a joint tape between me and Arrow Breeze.
Okay.
That is my brother right there. We got about 3-4 songs already done. They just have to be mixed. And then we're probably gonna do like another 2-3 songs, and then we'll have our joint tape. I'm trying to put together a couple tapes actually and a bunch of singles. Like when I tell you, there's so much music. Like I have my songs that have to be released as singles, but I won't release them yet until I get a video done to them. I won't release them until they're completely mixed.
Right. So
I have little songs, and then I have my tape songs that I'm trying to like put together. Like I actually was trying to do kind of like a capsule thing. Like I have an R&B tape, and then I got my pure hip-hop rap, no singing involved tapes, you know. So I'm trying to get those two together. I'm trying to get a bunch of videos done. I'm trying to get some photo shoots done. But while I'm also trying to get all this content out, I'm also trying to help other people with their content, you know, with the studio and everything like that. Trying to get artists in for bookings to do their mixing and masters. Me and Arrow, we're starting up like this photography business now too. So we just got all this equipment, literally just spent mad money into getting equipment for videos and photography. So a lot of work being put in.
That's what's up, man.
But you're gonna see a lot of me. I ain't slowing down as far as that. You gonna see a lot of me. As far as performances though, I'm probably gonna be slowing down a bit because I was doing like a lot of open mics, a lot of shows. I started headlining some, but now I feel as though I'm kind of getting to the point where I've have enough of a name for myself.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near finished, but you know, I'm starting to get to that point where it's like, okay, people are personally asking for me to come perform at their shows. So I'm gonna slow down on doing so many open mics and started focusing on more like headlining shows or even like competition shows that have benefits attached with winning and things like that, and paid gigs. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna focus on those.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
ThroneKid City, I wish you, blessings and prosperity, you know what I'm saying, and everything that you do. Any last words before we leave, man?
You already know what it is. It's your boy ThroneKid City. Make sure you follow me on the gram, all platforms. Check out the music. Stay tuned because there is so much coming. And like I always say, it's as if a king sits on a throne. I'm a kid and this is my city. Yeah. Oh, you got to peep the brand too. Peep the brand. I can't forget the brand, you know what I'm saying? We got to live like legends. R, you know what I'm saying? Royalist clothing. This is part of my brand too. But make sure y'all tap in and check out because we got a lot coming. Yeah.
All right. We out.